Hello all, and welcome back to Operation Goodwood. It is turn 2, January 1937. It is the British Commonwealth and the French players' turn. So let's start out with some tech rolls. The British have two major factories, so two tech rolls. They're going to go for radar and anti-submarine warfare again, red and white. We need a 7 or higher on both of these. We get a 10 and a 2. So anti-submarine warfare goes up. Yep, white goes up to stage 2, and the radar stays at stage 1. So not bad, 50%. We'll take it. The buys. The British have $13. They're going to do a militia upgrade, a infantry, an airborne, a militia, and a regular infantry. That is their $13. The Far East Command is going to do an infantry and militia with their $5. The Anzacs going to buy an infantry with their $3. And while we're here, we'll show you what the French are doing. The French are lend-leasing an infantry to Abyssinia, a militia upgrade to the Spanish Republicans, and a militia with their $7. So, no combat, all non-combat. So we should get started with the Far East Command and the Anzacs. So Anzacs are not moving anything. They're not doing anything. They're going to place their infantry into Sydney. So the only difference is they add an extra infantry to Sydney, making it 2. Okay, the Far East Command is going to move their coastal sub back 1 to I-12 to join the rest of the fleet. The 2 infantry in Maharashtra are going to get on the transport in I-6 and go 1, 2, 3 with the major shipyard and drop the 2 infantry off in Lower Egypt, and then they are going to go into port in Lower Egypt. Okay. The British. I think that's it for the Far East Command. So the Far East Command is going to place their infantry and militia both in Calcutta, leaving them 2 infantry and a militia in Calcutta. Okay, the British have a little bit more movement to do. Not a lot, but a little bit more. They're going to rail the infantry from Cape Town all the way up to Lower Egypt. So that is done. They are going to move the destroyer in A44 to M2 with the rest of the fleet. The air transport in Gibraltar is going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back to southern England. The TBD with the major port in A18 is going to go 1, 2, 3 to A35. The TBD in A21 is going to go 1, 2, 3 to A44 with the major port. The sub and the destroyer in A21. Well, the sub can go 3 also. He doesn't have a sub base, so he can only go 3. So 1, 2. He's going to join the TBD. And then destroyer with the port bonus is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and join his guys up in M2. Okay, so that should be it for the British there. And I believe, yep, that guy's done. That guy's done. So then the British are going to move their infantry from London to southern England. Okay. I believe that is all the non-combat movement for the British. So they are going to do the militia upgrade in Ottawa. They're going to build an infantry at the factory in Ottawa. They're going to build an infantry at the factory in Cape Town. And they are going to build an airborne and at the factory in London, and place a militia in London also. Okay. I believe that is all for the British, doing one quick look. Okay. And I'll do the whole disposition for everybody once I'm done, because the French got a few units to move yet too. So the French then have one major factory, and they're going to go for long-range aircraft again. They need an 8 or higher. That is a 5, so that is no good. So they fail on their attack attempt. Once again, the British, or the French, just have non-combat movement. So the transport in I-4 is going to strategic naval move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go in port in southern France. The transport and the Foreign Legion are going to go 1, 2, 3 to French Somaliland and I-4. The fighter and the medium bomber are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to Syria. I think that's it for over here. Come around the board. The sub in A-22 is going to go 1, 2, 3 to A-10. The sub in A-28 is going to go 1, 2, 3 to A-23. The two subs in A-35 are going to go 1, 2, 3 to A-17. All that is done. Okay. An infantry from Alsace-Lorraine is going to walk up into Picardy. A motorized from southern France is going to go 2, 1, 2 to Picardy. And I believe that is it for now. Just do a quick overview, seeing if I see any green arrows laying around that I missed or anything. I do not see any. So then we're going to Lend-Lease out of the port, down the Suez to Abyssinia, giving Abyssinia an infantry. We're going to upgrade the militia in Catalonia for the Republicans. And we got one militia placed. The militia is going to be placed into Picardy. So the last thing we have to do for the French is roll a 1 for Abyssinia. So we really want a 1. A 1 will make Abyssinia really, really tough. So let's see what we can do here. We need a 1 for Abyssinia. We got a spinner. And we got a 1, but it has a 0 with it, so that is a no-go. So we missed a recruitment roll there. So let's collect our money. The British are at 13. The Far East Command will still be at 5. The Anzacs will still be at 3. And the French will go up to 8. So we got to add another $1 to their pile there. So the French are up to 8. Okay. Quick disposition of forces for the stuff that's moved. So Sydney, we just added another infantry. So there's now 2 infantry, a militia, motorized, and artillery in Sydney. In I-12 for the Far East Command, we have a coastal sub, 2 destroyers, heavy cruiser, battleship, light carrier, and a fighter. Calcutta has 2 infantry, a militia, and a transport in the port. Maharashtra is now empty. There's a French transport in I-4. There's a foreign legion and an infantry in French Somaliland. Abyssinia now has a mountain infantry, a regular infantry, and 3 militia. Lower Egypt has 3 total infantry, 2 Far East, 1 British, a militia, battleship import, heavy cruiser import, and a transport import. Syria, I didn't even have it in the video. Sorry about that, guys. Syria has a fighter, a medium bomber, and a militia. Cape Town has an infantry again. Northern Algeria is now open. Gibraltar only has the infantry and a militia for now. M2 has 4 destroyers, a submarine, and a light cruiser. A44 has a TBD and a British sub, along with a French light cruiser and a French TBD on escort duty. A35 has a British TBD and a French destroyer on escort duty. A28 has a French destroyer on escort duty. Southern France now has 1 infantry, 1 mountain, 1 motorized, and a French transport import. Alsace has 3 infantry. Picardy has 3 infantry, a motorized, and a militia. Paris has 2 infantry and a artillery. Aquitaine has 2 French battleships in port. Let's keep moving around the board here. A20 has a French destroyer on escort duty. A17 has 2 French subs. A10 has a French sub. No, the British Navy has not moved from the starting point, except there's now a French sub, excuse me, in A23. And I think that is about it. If you guys have any questions, please ask. And recap on tech. I only went 1 for 3 this time, so anti-sub went up to stage 2 for the British, but everything else, radar and long-range aircraft, both were misses. Enjoy, guys, and we'll see you next year.